Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we have another review. So we took a look, or we watched another Netflix show, movie called Beckett, and this was with
John David Washington.
yes, Denzel's
Denzel's
son.
son.
Here's the cast. Is there anyone else on this cast that you recognized?
I know Alicia or whatever, Vikander. I know her. That's about it, though. That's the only person I know.
Okay, I don't like the only person I know here is John David Washington, and the country of origins for this film was Italy and Brazil. I didn't even know Brazil, dude. Did you know Brazil?
I didn't know it was in. I thought it was in Greece, but you know what? It makes sense. They could. I don't
Well,
think they could film it.
the location was Greece, but the origins of the film was Italy and Brazil, but it was shot in Greece.
Oh, it's shot. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was shot in Greece. Yeah, I was like, wow, this is I don't know any of these actors or actresses, and the only person I know here is like Denzel's son, John David Washington, and yeah, so this is Beckett, and this was a really super duper interesting film, not for the reasons you think.
Yeah.
But what do you think about like what made this film interesting or not interesting to you?
It didn't go how I thought it would go. Let's put it like that.
Mhm.
I initially I thought it was like a kidnapping type movie, or they're trying to get some kind of ransom,
Mhm.
and it was not. It was not a kidnapping. Well, it is a kidnapping movie, but I
Yeah,
thought they kidnapped his wife, because
yeah,
like you don't see what happens after. Like I saw the trailer, and it looked like he was just searching for his wife. I didn't
yeah.
know his wife was dead from the first 5 minutes of the movie,
Well,
and
wait a
until
minute.
it was something else.
That's his girlfriend, not his wife, right?
Yeah, his girlfriend. Yeah, his
His
girlfriend.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
So why don't you give a brief overview of Beckett and we'll get into like the giggles.
Okay, so so there's this guy. He's with his girlfriend in Greece, and they had a hotel room in the town square. There's about to be some protests,
Mhm.
so they decided to go up into the north and get a hotel room away from the protests.
Right,
And he falls asleep and gets into a terrible car accident,
right.
and his girlfriend gets killed, and he witnesses somebody. He sees a little kid.
With the
He
woman.
doesn't know. Yeah, with a woman. He doesn't know who the
Mhm.
kid is or anything like that.
Yeah,
And then for the rest of the movie, people are out trying to kill him because he saw the kid. So
right.
that's the gist of the overall movie.
The kid was the son of a political leader,
Yeah, a
or the
politician.
opposition leader,
Mhm.
and who was later killed at this rally as well, right? It was basically that sort of, direction where, someone kidnapped like a, opposition leader's son.
Yeah,
And it wasn't even for ransom, like for money. It was just like, hey, you need to not run, or you need to, stop your political career, whatever, right? Now, here's the thing that was really interesting to me, because I knew absolutely nothing about this film,
yeah.
because they were speaking the film was explained in Greek, right?
Yes. A lot of important information is in Greek.
A lot of
So
important information was in Greek.
you're just flowing
But
along until they speak English again. You got to
right,
figure it out.
but the subtitles did not give us the ability to translate the Greek into English, which was like, what is going on?
I think that was on purpose. I think that because if you couldn't speak any Greek, I think that it adds to the suspense because you're in the dark like he is.
Yeah,
You don't know what they're talking about. You don't know what they're saying. So I'm sure if somebody could speak Greek, they were watching it. They're like, "Oh, okay, that makes more sense to them." But I think that they left you specifically in the dark so that you're going along with the movie from his perspective as well,
mm,
because you didn't know who's dirty, who's not dirty, and what they're saying about him. I'm fairly certain they're probably giving a lot of the plot away. But I don't. I do know some Greek people, but I never asked them to watch this to let me know what they thought.
Right.
So
Now, you know what else? Like John David Washington, man, he's been playing in some really interesting films. He did like Tenet, which was also sort of like a sensory sort of film,
yeah,
right?
the spy thriller.
Right. The Beckett was also sensory because you know, the explanation of like what was going on was done in Greek. Netflix didn't
Mm.
give us the translations, the subtitles, and it was just like, I mean, they had Japanese, Italian,
Mm.
um, I think Mandarin also, or like it was just like, what's going on here, right? They didn't
Did
have
you flip
Greek.
through? I just accepted. I was like, okay, well, we're just not gonna know then. Like, did you try and flip through and see if we could get the subtitles on?
Yeah, I was like, I checked the subtitles. I was like, okay, maybe like, I even stopped the film and went to IMDb and I was like, oh, okay, like Italy's origin, let me see if I
Mm.
put it in Italian, and it's just like, no, that didn't work. I mean, I was like, well, you know what? Let me try Japanese. I was like,
Mm.
okay, no, they translated, all they did was
Just
they
the English part.
translated the English part. So
Yeah.
that was really weird and disturbing to me because it was just like, again, the meat and potatoes of the film was being
Mm.
explained by these Greek actors in
Mm.
Greek. And right? Come on. And like
Yeah, yeah.
Netflix did not give us the ability to be
I
able
think
to
I'm
create
convinced.
subtitles.
I'm convinced that on purpose from the director. Wherever they set it up, I think that they
I think
specifically
so too.
chose it like that just to keep you in the dark,
I think so
which
too.
is just fine, I guess. I don't know. I would prefer to understand what everybody's saying.
Mhm.
I don't like being left in the dark for movies, whatever. But like I understood what was going on, so
I didn't like it, but it was almost a little brilliant too, because it just like,
mm.
okay, this you have to sit here and you
Yeah,
want to
you have to
watch
pay
this throughout.
attention,
Yeah,
figure out what the hell is
so
going on.
it was sort of brilliant in a way because all
Mm.
you just had the English with John David Washington and some other sort of Greeks who spoke English. But dude, okay, so these Greek police officers, they had to kill him because he saw the son of this politician. They had to
Yeah,
kill him.
the kidnapped kid. Yeah,
And this woman was like, following him, trying to kill him. And then this like police officer, the whole nine, And when they were in the police station and then the police were speaking in Greek,
mm.
again, we did not know what they were saying. And I
I wonder why they
still,
let him go. I don't know why they would just keep him up there.
because they were like,
Charge
hey,
him
you know
with.
what? We let him go. And then, like, you know, there's an accident and the guy gets killed. I mean, um,
Yeah.
and apparently the American government was involved in this too.
Mm. That's not surprising. Is
It's
it
just
though?
like,
Like based on
right.
what's been going on the last couple of weeks, is that surprising?
Yeah.
I don't think that's surprising at all. But all right.
Yeah, the
But
other thing
yeah,
is like, how did he all of a sudden get these like these powers to be like, to beat people up? It's just like, oh, this guy all of a sudden now, these are like police officers and like people who work for the embassy, they should have training and be able to like take down someone,
yeah.
just
He,
a newbie.
you know what bothered me? He has a cast and he never used it once. I've been hit with the cast before. Those suckers are hard. Why would you not use your
The new
cast?
ones are pretty soft though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you have something.
You
You have
could have
something.
clunked
You have
someone in
force
the
of
head for
something.
real.
Yeah. Even I know it's like they have the cloth thing. It's not like the old school days where it's like actual cast, but still, you have something. This guy is he's just catching
Yeah,
lefts and rights with his hands and his face. I'm like, yo, you have to use your arm, man.
yeah. And Keo, this
Something.
is another foreign film, dude.
Yeah, it's another foreign film.
And
I
and here's the
okay.
thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's another foreign film. Again, they said, we're not doing the North American playbook. This is totally different,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think about
This is
this?
this is definitely the writing and style for what the movie and the plot was. That's definitely not American, 100%.
Mhm.
Because American plots would have done something completely different. He
Right.
would turn into Rambo at the end of the movie and shot up a
Right.
bunch of people or whatever.
Hmm.
He's just running for his life for most of the
That's
movie.
it. Hmm.
Yeah. So like I definitely you have the influence of like foreign film, whatever, for sure. I like the fact that the movie it went a left turn instead of what everybody expected. I like that. I appreciate the idea of not trying to do a cookie cutter Americanized type movie, even though you have American person. He's not a star yet, but he's becoming a star.
Yeah.
And what's that? Alicia Vikander. She's pretty big too. She's in one of my favorite movies of all time, the Ex Machina, and she's in Man from Uncle too.
Oh, the person who played April. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen her in a bunch
Okay.
of movies.
Really. All right. Yeah. I mean, like, what did you Okay, and then the whole suspense of him running. He went back to the house. Oh,
He
let
did
me
a lot
ask
of
you
stuff I
this.
wouldn't do at all.
Right. Oh, I mean, he did like, listen, he did a lot of stuff where, you know, how like sometimes, you know, you have like these discussions on like these horror flicks where it's just like, oh,
Yeah,
black
like, don't
people
go.
wouldn't have done that. You know, it's like
What are
black
you
people
going
aren't
down the
going back to
door?
the scene of the crime. They're like out of here
Yeah,
already. Who
yeah.
was the woman? The woman when the car crashed into this like house and then this
Mhm,
boy came out and then
mhm.
there was also a woman. Was that the woman who was after him as well,
I don't think so. I think that's the person just keeping an
taking
eye on
care of
him.
him? Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think. I'm not sure. I got maybe I have to rewatch it. I'm not sure. I
Yeah,
think
that
it's a
was
different person because you had
okay.
like the other
What's up,
lady's like the Terminator chasing this dude down. Like
dude? I
she
mean,
is shot first. I would have got closer. She shot all the way across the she's all in the weeds,
I
way out in
wanted
the
her
woods.
to I wanted her
Damn.
to but you know what, that was also like when they were shooting across the woods or across the weeds, you know, I was like, oh, you know what, I guess some Greek people would do that. Americans would be like, dude, go get the sharpshooter, you know.
Dude, I'm gonna get closer. Like,
Right.
yo, he
Uh-huh.
doesn't know. He has no idea what's going on. You have the
Right.
upper hand. You walk right up to him and then bang, bang, done. Everything's done. Movie's
Dude.
over. Everybody goes home. Why would
Dude.
you? The police officer was like, "Hey, everybody, hey, you're all right, you're all right." And then she just starts shooting. I'm like, "What is happening right now?" I would have got closer, but like, okay, but like, he did a lot of stuff I would not have done. Like, he had money, so he could have taken a cab. He could have done a bunch of other stuff. He did the way to get caught. Like,
Mm.
you didn't have to go on the train. He had money to buy tickets.
Okay, so that's okay. You're right. He did a lot of like really
They're
ridiculous
terrible
things.
stuff.
He did a lot of things that black people wouldn't do in a situation like this, right?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
black people wouldn't go back to the scene of an accident, you know, like, you know, after your girl died, right? They wouldn't go back there
No.
and just sit down and look at the blood, right? They wouldn't do that,
Well,
right?
I think he
Um,
was gonna try and kill himself there. Like, he had like the sleeping pill. He had Ambien.
yeah.
I think he
Hmm.
was just gonna give it all in
And then old
or
girl
whatever.
came in and started shooting up, you know, like just
Yeah.
blasting the whole place up, you know. And then he,
Yeah.
you know, the other thing I would not have done was I'm in a foreign country, right?
Mhm.
I go to the American embassy, right? I'm getting, you know, the nurses working on me, and then this embassy worker is like, hey, well, you know, let's go to this police station. They will help you. I'm like,
Mhm.
no, dude, just put me on a plane. I'm going back to the crib, you know?
I'm like, I'm out. I made it out. I'm free.
I mean, he's
Done and
driving
done.
him through like this weird neighborhood, and it's just like, what? Are you serious? It's just like, there are,
Yeah.
again, there are a lot of things that a black person would generally not do in a movie like
He
this or in a situation like this, you
he
know?
has zero situational awareness. Zero. First of
Dude,
all, he's telling everybody everything. That's the first no
right.
no.
Hmm.
And then like
It
he's
was
just
my
trusting like
fault. It was my fault.
you don't
Come
say
on.
nothing, man. I'm not saying don't snitch, but I'm just saying like don't
Lawyer.
divulge more
I'll be
information.
like, lawyer.
Lawyer, right? I will
Lawyer.
not just tell everybody everything that's going on. Just walking around. He got how many people killed because he was talking to everybody?
I mean, listen. And then okay, again, it was we're talking about these unrealistic things, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
like when he was on his way back to Athens, and so
Mm-hmm.
there was a police checkpoint, so he got out, went over the bridge, went over the railing, and then went down this like patch. You mean to tell me
Mm-hmm.
like the police didn't see him? But anyway, he went down there. He's trying to get back.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, a lot of that stuff is like unrealistic. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of the movie was unrealistic. Like I said, there are some things that black people would just not do, right?
Yes. Yes. You
But
just
I
you,
will say this:
yeah.
I did enjoy the film.
I know. I like the movie too, but I'm just saying, like, it watching it, and I'm like, I wouldn't do that. Nope. Why are
Yeah,
you doing that for?
no,
I said that the entire movie. Like him falling asleep, I'd be like, yo, you tired? Get some coffee or something to pull
yeah,
over. Like, get something. Why?
no,
Don't drive like that in the mountains and you're falling asleep. Like that's kind of, you know, when you're taking long trips like that, you still. I roll down the window. I'm like, hey, keep me up. Turn the
yeah,
radio on. All kind of stuff. It's like,
yeah, no. How about this? How about this, right? How about
mm,
when you're in a foreign country, driving on a
mm,
road that is completely unfamiliar to you in the
yeah,
country at
yeah.
night? I'm not falling asleep. I'm not even
Oh
pulling over.
hell
First of
no,
all, I'm not even driving on like some country road
hell
in
no.
another country at night. I am not doing
Mhm.
that. That is not happening. So
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm
okay.
not quite sure.
That's what I'm saying. That's my thing. Like situational awareness. He has zero.
Mm-mm.
He's like, I feel like he's lived in the suburbs his whole life. He's never seen anything like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like you've gone to the hood a couple times. You're like, I'm not going to sleep.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna just say what I need to say. Like just little things. I'm like, this dude, man. But like, it didn't take me out of the movie. I know a lot of this stuff was just like, this is for plot purposes.
Mm.
But like going to another country, like he's done so many mistakes just all over the place. Like he's
Yeah.
just trusting everybody. Like
It's not
you
good.
just had you had the police shooting at you. I trust zero people from here on out.
Dude, no.
Nobody.
See,
I don't care if it's a farmer. I don't care the nectar. I don't trust
American
anybody from here
Embassy,
on
I'm
out.
not trusting anyone, dude.
Nobody.
No, no one, no one.
Nobody.
What did you think about like the storyline, the location, the scenes, the build up? What do you think about all that sort of stuff?
It was good. I feel I'm annoyed because I like the actress that was his girlfriend. I was hoping she was in the movie longer because she
She got
basically didn't
like,
do anything.
mhm,
Yeah, she got killed in a car accident. That was the end of that. But like
that was
the
it.
overall story, I think was fine. I don't really have an issue with the story.
Mhm.
Uh, for me, I definitely I kept like, don't do that. Why are you doing this for?
Yeah,
This doesn't make any sense. Like, and you know what? Other thing too that I really thought about this after. A lot of stuff would be completely different if he still had his cell phone. Because like you have the phone, you can translate.
yeah,
You can say something and so put it in Greek or whatever.
mhm,
You can get a map on there. You can figure out like we have so much stuff from the days you remember back in the days with the flip phone where
yeah.
there is just the phone on there. You had no
That's
information.
it. Yeah.
There's so much information available to you today if you just had a phone.
Mhm.
So like a lot of these movies couldn't be made if he still had his phone or whatever. And like I really thought about that. Like
Mhm.
a lot of
Where's this
classic
guy's
movies.
phone?
Yeah, like I think it got smashed up in the accident.
Right, but I mean, he couldn't like buy a burner phone or something like that, just like in the city. You know what I'm saying?
That's the first thing I would have done was get a new phone.
Yeah.
Even if this is a flip phone or whatever, that was the first thing I would have done to get a new phone.
Right.
And
So I
then
don't
work
get
from
that,
there.
because he did have a little bit of money. Even though he didn't have a lot of money, he had some money. I like the
Yeah,
um
but
I like the again for what it was, the
mm,
plot was okay
the plot was
because
okay.
I think it would have been better if we had the ability to know what the Greeks were saying because they
Mm,
basically set up the whole movie and we were not able to like figure that out, which is brilliant, but also dumb in the same sort of breath, right? So it's
Yeah.
like you have a movie and you're not giving the viewers the ability to figure out what this movie is all about. We still, you kind of still don't know what the movie is about,
Yeah.
even after watching it, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden subtext and stuff that people are saying back
Yeah.
and forth.
So I
But
mean,
it's also
I
need
can't.
an interpreter.
I can't imagine this film being like. I mean, this is it for this film. I mean, I don't know about this
Yeah,
film. You know,
it would have never it was never going to be a blockbuster.
no.
I think it was always like a streaming service type movie.
5.6 on IMDb, 18,000. Wow.
I'll go in the sixes. I like a high six, like 6.5.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
I would
What
go
did you
7
think?
though.
Okay, let's wrap this up. What did you think about Beckett on Netflix?
I thought it was a good. I want to call it a time waster because a lot of people put effort in this movie.
Yeah.
It is a popcorn flick
Mhm.
for sure. I didn't dislike it. I thought it was fine. Like acting. He's a good actor. Everybody there was good acting. I don't have an issue with the acting or anything like that.
Mhm.
Plot was interesting. I wasn't bored. I was like, oh, hurry up and finish this movie. Um, there's a lot of things I would have done different though. And I
Mhm.
think that's the stuff that's bothering me from ranking it higher. Because it would have to be for me to make sense. I think that he would have to be forced not to do some stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like the common sense thing, and hey, you're in a foreign country, you should probably take care of yourself in a different way. I think that would make more sense. Like
Mhm.
just him just rolling off the road. I think if they were drinking a lot, or it was another reason why that happened, because like it wasn't even that dark. I think it was like just getting to dusk when they got out there, kind of car accident. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, you're going to a place you haven't gone before. Leave earlier.
In a
I
different
would have
country.
yeah, in a different country. I would have left. I would have left there in a day, and
Yeah.
be like, we're gonna find something to do over there. But I'm just saying, like that. These are things like you and I have traveled to different places. Like
Mhm.
I've been around the world. Like I wouldn't do any of these things.
No, it's crazy.
A
So
lot of
what's
stuff I wouldn't have done.
so what's your rating?
I would give it a 6.5. I give
Six
it,
point five. That's still pretty
yeah,
high. Um,
yeah. Like, it was okay. It wasn't bad.
I'm going to give Beckett a 6. And the reason why I'm going to give it a 6 is I think that plot, storyline, where it was shot, the location, John David Washington, he's pretty good. He's coming up in the game. I would have given it maybe an 8 or even a 9 if we were able to know what
Mm,
this film, what this story, what this situation was all about. If they gave us the ability to be able to translate what they were saying in Greek
yeah,
into English, if
because you
we
don't
had
even.
the ability to
Mm,
know what this movie was about during the movie. That's just what I'm saying. It's just like we're watching a movie and we don't know what the movie is about because we can't translate the Greek. That's just
but like
kind of silly to me.
the subplot with the politician, you don't really know what's going on until like
You
almost the
don't.
movie end of the movie.
Right.
That like you there was nothing in the beginning of the movie just to be like this is foreshadowing or hey, this is a poster, you gotta look up at this billboard, this guy's important.
They've got
Something
a,
like that. They
yeah,
didn't do any of that. Like it just kept going and then oh by the way, this politician, that's his son.
right. If they were able to even like blend in the politician, like his politics and why he's the opposition leader or something like
Yeah.
that. This
There's no
film, it
reason why
just,
you would care.
right. This film just seems to me that it could have been expanded a little bit more.
Mm,
Let the viewers know what the film is about. I mean, think about it. How silly is that, but also
mm,
somewhat brilliant? But how silly is it that
mm.
Netflix released a film and the entire plot line, we don't even know what it was, not unless you spoke Greek, you understood Greek. That is like the dumbest thing I ever heard, dude. So I'm going to give it a 6. And again, I think that if they gave us the ability to know what the plot was all about, because we kind of still don't know what the plot is about, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's more in the style of like a foreign film. Like for American films, they gotta dumb it down and be like, "Hey, everybody, this guy's important. Hey, look at this guy. We have a neon
Yeah.
sign. Look at this thing right here."
Yeah.
And the foreign films just like, "Yeah, you'll figure it out later. Watch it
Yeah.
again."
Yeah. That's pretty
So
dumb.
that's the vibe. But from all the foreign films I've seen, it's always the vibe of you'll figure it out. We think you're smart enough. You'll get
Yeah.
it eventually.
That's pretty. Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And until next time, peace.
All right.